I'm delighted that a mutual friend of ours has connected us so that you can be here.
That's right. Thank you. And it's a pleasure to be here, Clarissa.
I'm going to very briefly say some things that Irene, as part of Irina's introduction, that I know she has 3 master's degrees, that she's Russian originally, but now she's an American, and that she has extensively studied spirituality, hypnosis. Wow. And I'm so impressed that you've written 5 books, a bestseller. You've got a number of entrepreneurial awards, and you've had 20 years of helping other people to go on professionally and spiritual journeys that were your personal ones too. I know that you know what you're talking about. That's amazing. So tell us a little bit more about your title. I know that you want to really share this.
Right, because the title of our interview, as I defined it, from battling upstream to an effortless flow of life, 3 keys to finding your relief from spinning your wheels. One day recently, a friend of mine sent me a picture of a box full of salmon from Alaska that she ordered, and she was boasting about it. So it made me think. Salmon, everybody knows the famous feature of salmon, to go upstream, to battle upstream, to return back to the fresh waters for spawning, to reproduce. And during the lifespan of salmon, they actually swim more than 7,000 miles. It's more than 11,000 kilometers. And while they're returning back to the fresh waters, they usually they are in a huge effort of returning, so they have to fight for the territory, they have to battle upstream, and they have to dig nests to do what they need to do. And because of this huge effort, they get so exhausted that after spawning, they usually die. What an interesting life. So they have 2 choices, either be eaten by people or to die after spawning.
Oh,
and
great.
We can easily, and we can easily trace 5 attributes of that, because the first one is tradition. They go back where they came from, no matter how hard it is. Number 2, hard efforts. They're battling upstream. Number 3, survival of the fittest. They're fighting for the territory. Number 4, hard labor. They have to dig their nests in the gravel without any rest. And number 5, death from exhaustion. Does it remind you about something? Maybe not death per se, but everything else, and death, stress, and burnings out, and all these interesting things that we go through in life, right?
It does. And it sounds just like people who go to work every single day, 9 to 5. It's a treadmill. It feels like work, eat, and sleep. Isn't that for many people?
Clarissa, you nailed it. You nailed it. Exactly.
Yeah.
And another friend showed me recently a video of a cute talking porcupine. His name is Teddy. And he's actually a celebrity on the internet. His owner, a woman, a lady, she holds him in her lap and gives him treats, and he's chirping while he's eating, and it's so cute. She put his videos on the internet, and first she had only a few videos, but then one of his videos got on a viral site, and now Teddy has 10 million views.
Oh, and more views than me or you, Irina.
And let me tell you, he does not hear any traditions. He doesn't make any efforts. He doesn't need to survive. He doesn't need to work hard. And he's neither tired nor he's in stress. So he's not going to die anytime soon, hopefully.
No.
So, and another interesting detail, like you nailed, salmon fish are so many. They go to work from 9 to 5, or maybe in business they work 24/7. And they're unremarkable. No one sends them love and admiration. No one hand feeds them food. And I don't talk about 10 million views. This is not what I'm talking about. No. I'm not talking about being a celebrity. I just gave you 2 examples of 2 different lifestyles. So in other words, salmon fish fight against the stream, against the flow.
Yes.
They're battling upstream. And Teddy is in a perfect flow of life.
Yep.
So now my question is for your audience, what life attributes apply to you? If you recognize some of the attributes of salmon fish, which I'm perfect example of that, I've been in my life before.
Oh, yeah.
And that means this interview will really help you, because I'm going to share later 3 keys to how to open the door to really Teddy's life.
That's fantastic. And I think so many people, as I said, are in that, that sort of single thing where life is like a treadmill, and it's tough, isn't it?
Exactly. And so my first teaching point here is life doesn't struggle. Although we don't believe it, we think we have to struggle, we think we have to go and battle upstream, but actually life doesn't struggle. Life is a perfect flow. We just forgot about it.
That's very true. And it's a lot easier when we're like porcupine and we flow with life, we let it happen, we let it unfold. But that's not true, is it? That's not how we're often taught to live our lives, is it?
Exactly. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. That's difficult. But I mean, that's your thing. I mean, how did you come to this conclusion about your life? Tell me about your own experience that has brought you to this point.
Of course, as you know, we always, as I know about you, you had to go through your experience in order to become the expert you are right now. Because if you don't do it, only, I guess, brain surgeon doesn't need to go through brain surgery, right? To be to be an expert. I hope not.
Maybe not.
But maybe not. But we usually go through the experiences that made us what we are right now, so we can teach it to others, not brain surgery. Okay, so 24 years ago, I immigrated from the former Soviet Union to the United States. And back then, Russia was a perfect training ground for a very well-trained salmon fish. The hard survival, the severe lack, constant survival, hard life, overcoming obstacles, you name it, we had it. And even people would die early, men would die in 50s. So it was an interesting life there. And of course, we perceived the United States as a land flowing with milk and honey.
Oh.
So the promised land. So in July of 95, I arrived to Orlando, Florida, and instantly found myself in the hot oven. I loved it. I felt at home. I couldn't absorb enough of Floridian lush beauty. And hot Floridian air felt so good on my Russian bones, frozen Russian bones, as you can
imagine. I've been to Russia. It's cold, yeah.
Well, I would think your country is cold too. So
yes.
I am sure you know what I'm talking about. So it took me 5 years to unfreeze my bones. So that's another topic. Everything was clear and colorful and amazing. So I thought I arrived to my dream life and I celebrated. Within 3 months, well, first of all, I was trying to assimilate with the American culture and my new lifestyle, and it was very hard.
Yeah.
And within 3 months, I started feeling that I didn't want to be in America any longer, nor did I want to return to Russia. So I actually didn't have any choice because I didn't want to be anywhere. And it was a very hard internal feeling. So I didn't know what to do and where to find the answer to my suffering until one memorable day.
So tell me a little bit about what happened on that day. How did your things change for you?
You know, that day, I remember it so vividly because on that day, I was quietly sitting in the office, typing something on the computer, and thousand light bulbs just turned on in my head.
Wow.
Literally, I saw, I don't know how you say it in your head, right? But I saw that huge light in my head,
Wow.
and a realization hit me like a ton of bricks. It was an incredible focused, laser focused point when I didn't hear the words of that particular, how I say it now, but the meaning was, don't blame the mirror for your ugly face. It's all about you.
It's all about you.
You're
Oh,
responsible for the good and the ugly. And at
yes.
that moment, because before I was unaware, I had no idea. So here it
Mm,
was for me, internal realization. I never read anything about it. It was just the internal awakening.
mm.
And that was the moment when I said, okay, if it's inside me, then I'm going to find what it is and I'm going to change it. I remember saying it without even
Wow.
thinking what I was doing.
But that's your intuition, isn't it? Coming through that sort of inner thing. When you say these things and you think, well, that couldn't possibly happen, or where did that come from? But it is that inner self, isn't it? Coming out, that
Oh,
little
absolutely.
knowledge. Yeah. That's
That's
amazing.
power. That's power. That
It
power
is.
that was divine power that was there, guiding me, saying, "Okay, it's time to wake up. Wake up." So for the last 24 years, I've been on this spiritual journey, very intense, very everything has been devoted to this journey. So I am very much in it, and I'm continuing, and it's incredible. And it
Mhm.
turned out many years later, I realized what it has been. It was a journey of a woman, which I am,
Yep.
to find the personal woman power, to find that divine power inside, my own power, that I could do things and I could be in the flow of life versus battling upstream.
That's amazing. I mean, how long had you been in America since that happened? How long had you
24
been?
years.
24 years. But when did you have your when did you actually have your awakening? How long had you been
three
here?
three months later. So when I
Oh, that's
arrived to America,
yeah.
3 months later, yeah. I
Wow.
used to think it was a year later because obviously at that time I didn't record it in a calendar. But then I looked at the events and I said, oh my gosh, that was actually faster than I thought, because I became so very, very few, because that at that moment my suffering became very intense. Because
Yes.
imagine you in from another country and suddenly you're in a different place, you
Mm.
just everything is different. And I really wanted to assimilate. I never liked Russia. I can say it. I never wanted to be there. It had to be. It's karma. So,
Yes.
but
Yes. Yes.
I came home in America. I even went to when I landed that day. I landed the first time, and I felt I am home without even knowing anything.
That's
So it's
amazing. That's fantastic.
right.
That's absolutely amazing. It's that it's deep inside us, isn't it?
Right, right. It's a karmic journey. It's not
It
just
is.
this lifetime.
No,
Yeah,
it's not traveling to the other side of the world and being, oh, I'm just here. It's a
right.
real soul journey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're so much alike because you're just nailing everything,
I
saying
know.
all the right words.
I think some of us have been on this journey, and I think there are people out there who are listening, my listeners who've been on this journey too, that there is an unfolding of an allowing of the soul's journey to come out. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
But Irina, I really love you to answer for my listeners some of the big milestones, some of the things that you've really learned along the journey.
Sure. And as I promised, I will share 3 keys because obviously we're out of time. I could talk forever, as I'm
You can
sure all
keep
your
talking.
guests. 3 keys, 3 keys how I got off the spinning wheels, because what you mentioned, spinning wheels, I really felt it, because I thought I came to America and I would be okay. I'm good. I have education. I know what I need to do. I just need to work hard and I will be successful. And I felt so good about myself. I was always not shy, confident, and all good things. But something inside was sabotaging my efforts. So that's something I was not aware of until I started and trying and spinning my wheels. and nothing is happening. And there are efforts and efforts and efforts and more training and more learning and more education and more whatever you need to do and taking action and everything. And no, it was sabotage, internal sabotage, that actually was stopping me from success as we know it.
As so many of us know, we're actually, you're right, we're just spinning a wheel. Nothing is coming. And I think, you know, I can relate to that in my own life too, that I just spun lots of wheels. I wondered why I didn't get progress here. I moved countries lots of times because I thought that would make a difference. Changed husbands, lots of other things. And it doesn't necessarily actually make the difference. It's not your external world.
You know, Clarissa, I should just ask you to do my lectures for you to do my lectures for me, because you're saying it. You're right. Changing husbands and changing countries doesn't work.
Doesn't work. No.
You know what? And people need to experience it, because they won't believe our words. They will need to experience it themselves, because they think, oh, no, for me it will work. Unfortunately, I'd rather you to listen to us and say, okay, first you change, then you go change your husbands.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper.
It's a lot cheaper and less stressful.
Less stressful.
fewer wheels to spin, right?
Yeah, a lot less wheels and a lot less pain.
Right. So the first key is exactly what we were just talking about. I understood that my taking specific physical actions by moving to the other side of the earth, because imagine Russia on one side and America is on the other side.
Yeah.
It didn't bring relief from my problems. It actually intensified, because everything became into focus. And I realized that this was internal problem, or many problems, issues. I actually brought a big black bag with me going to America. And then later on I said, oh my goodness, that bag was full of issues I brought with me, literally.
Yeah.
So that was my first learning, that no, you cannot even go far, because it won't matter.
No.
Nope.
No, nope. I know that. I moved from England to Australia and it didn't make a difference. And that's a long way. That's it. That's like going to the other end of the earth too.
Oh yes, it is. It sure is. Well, at least you enjoyed the setting, right? Australian setting. Nice to say, but
beautiful, beautiful sunshine and beaches. But it didn't change the issues inside me. It didn't take them away.
So true. Yeah, Florida is gorgeous, and I loved it. I say it's my home. People ask me in America, where are you from? Because that's the favorite question in America to ask. So they hear my heavy accent and they say, where are you from? And I try to say, Florida. And they, of course, never believe me, because...
No, they're trying to work it out. Where does she come from?
So the second key, I realized, as I already mentioned, don't blame the mirror for your ugly face. It's all about you. You're responsible for the good and the ugly, meaning the world is your mirror, and it reflects everything you see in that world is actually inside of you. Yeah. And the third key I wanted to share, because these are huge areas that big, because if you keep doing if you take physical actions all the time, you will get exhausted, and I'm sure many already have gotten exhausted, and nothing changes really. Maybe a little bit, but then the permanent change will always come only from inside. So the mirror, you have to think about the mirror. And the third key, I've learned that every physical situation requires a spiritual solution. So they actually, all three of them in the same, so to speak, in the same area, or all together, because to summarize, all three principles is this: you have to change your consciousness first, and then the physical world will follow effortlessly.
Yes. And that makes perfect sense to me, but it's such a profound thing. And it's such a shift from where so many people are today, and where society talks about, if you change, it's all about moving house and buying a bigger car and getting a better job and buying this stuff and having plastic surgery and changing your husband. That's the outer world. But if this doesn't stay the same, you generally find you're back to where you were quite quickly. Am I on the right lines here?
You are absolutely, word for word on the right, word for word. I know for sure you know what you're talking about. So it's amazing, because I'm happy to be on the same, very much in the same position with you and understand each other. Because I like that you mentioned so many examples, because women go to plastic surgery to make, in America, I don't know, in Europe maybe the same. In Russia it used to be that, which, because I don't know now, well, I haven't been there for a very long time. So in Russia before, when I was there, legs were important. You have to have long legs, and I had long legs when I was young. I don't know now, but so I was fine there. But then I came to America, and legs are not important. Boobs are important. Excuse my French.
Yeah.
But to me, so women would go to a plastic surgeon.
My dog.
Oh, it's okay. He or she is joining in the conversation.
No. Just. Keep talking, Irina. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, they usually they agree or they confirm. So the dog is confirming is it he or she?
A little girl. It's a little girl. We can hear her.
She knows.
She knows. She's telling you that someone's coming, so she's joining in the conversation. She comes on every podcast. She likes to join in. She's very annoying.
You should interview her one day.
She should come and sit here. So I think now Minnie the dog is a feature. So my listeners will soon ask, is Minnie the dog on the show?
Exactly, right? Exactly.
Yeah. I love this.
So they go and they do this plastic surgery thinking, and then they say, it helped me so much. Now I'm so confident. My breasts are much bigger. Well, maybe you think you're confident, and maybe you think your life has changed, and many will maybe argue with me because they think their life has changed. Yeah. But the truth is, if you didn't change inside, you will create the same situations.
Yes.
You will attract exactly the same people. Mm-hmm. And men will not change, because the quality of men that you attract will not change because of your bigger breasts.
No, exactly. Mm-hmm. But what I really love, Irina, is for you to really share a real life example of how people have transformed, or how
Clarissa,
the spiritual solution. Yeah.
As you can see, I like to talk. You maybe
keep talking. It's lovely.
I guess all your guests love talking, right? That's why we're here.
That's why we're here, and that's what's the fun part of it, is to talk.
To talk, exactly. We're real women. We like talking.
I think men like to talk too. Actually, they just pretend they don't.
They pretend they don't.
Yeah.
And so I would like to share specifically 7 examples, and the reason for this big number is, well, we will talk about the reason later, because there is a reason.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. So the first one I wanted, and these are exactly true stories from my work with my clients. I didn't come up with anything. I just took the stories, and they're really interesting. For example, the first one. The client had battled Upstream with a company where she used to work for $39,000 American dollars for 6 months. By the time of 6 months, because she was not an employee anymore, it was different situation, right? So she's not an employee, they don't care anymore, but the money was rightfully hers. But at the end of 6 months, she was absolutely was discouraged. She thought she would never see the money. So when we started working together, very fast actually, sometimes it takes longer. I don't say it's quick, be rich, whatever scheme. It depends. It depends on what the issue is and how the person is ready to change it. So after we talked, we started working together. After a few sessions, within 48 hours, she got all the money. $39,000 American dollars. She got the money, 48 hours. So
Wow.
that's an interesting thing, because she didn't have to fight anymore. She went because the power inside of her, divine power, showed her a very different way.
Yes.
So she was going this way, fighting, battling upstream, when she needed actually to go this way, but she didn't see it. She had to contact different people that she had no idea about. And when she got that clarity, she got inspiration. When we cleared the issue that was blocking the money, guess what? She got the money. The money was released within 48 hours. Amazing.
That's amazing.
Right. And that's being in the flow.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to fight. You can be in the flow.
Yes.
The second example, the client, and I don't discourage people, if you want to go to dating agency and pay $3,000 like my client did before she started working with me, fine, because every business is important and everybody has their own, own place. But this particular client paid $3,000 to a dating agency, and they hand matched her with suitable partners, but all in vain. Nothing worked.
No.
And then she started working with me. So I told her, please, I am all for it, a good experience, but for you particularly, you shouldn't do that. Don't pay any more money, because what you need is to clear inside. Obviously, it didn't work because something inside. So we worked, and guess what? She got a free app, and she found the person on a free app, no money, and she's still my client. And guess what? They're getting married. He just bought a ring.
That sounds like me. I spent ages in dating agencies. I never met anybody, and I used to think these men are horrible. And then, somebody said to me, when you can date yourself and love yourself inside, then it will appear. And yes, I met my now husband on a free dating app.
Wow.
And we got married earlier this year.
Wow. I should get a testimonial for you, for my testimonials of my clients, confirming that my client is saying the right thing.
Yeah, it's amazing. but it works. It is about here. It's about you. Yeah, it's not about paying lots of money for somebody to sort it out. It's not really. I mean, I think they've right to run their business, like you say. But
exactly.
But if you're not healed inside, if you're not unlocking that power inside, it doesn't work anyway.
That's right. Even if you go to Australia.
Even if you go to Australia.
Have you heard of Crocodile Dundee? I don't want you to assume because you live in Europe, but have you ever heard of Crocodile Dundee?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
No.
Yeah. Enough said.
Yeah.
Not really what it's like, but it's funny.
That's why I said I don't want to assume anything. I haven't been to Australia yet. One day. After I finish healing myself, right then I'll go to Australia.
Oh.
So the third example, a client actually who lives in Great Britain.
Mm-hmm.
She found me on the internet and she hired me as her mentor. And as soon as she signed up for the sessions, we agreed, we scheduled everything, and she got a stroke. So after she already started with me, she had a stroke.
Oy.
Right. Basically, she didn't even start working with me. She like I said, everything was done, everything was scheduled. She signed up, and then she had a stroke. What do you think you do, right? Well, thank God it wasn't a very extensive stroke. She was younger and she had a lesser stroke. But I knew that she needed the sessions because you start thinking, okay, what's the ethical thing to do? Do you just say, okay, deal with your stroke, come back later if you decide to, or but I did feel, I'm very intuitive, and I felt that we needed to continue, and she wanted to continue. Of course, that was her choice. And it was the right thing because she considered me, as she said recently even, you were one of the healers, meaning the physical healers were there, physical doctors, but she even called me a healer, which I'm not, but healer in terms of we dealt with the issues that in the first place created that stroke.
Of course.
because the issues were emotional. They were not, and spiritual, they were not physical issues. And so when we were, and when we were dealing with that, when we cleared it, her recovery was so much remarkable, so much faster, so much more pronounced, and she was on her feet. Imagine after the stroke, she's working now, she's happy. So it's quite an amazing experience, because you watch this, and she was so good at showing up for the sessions, even though she wasn't feeling well. But we were doing this emotional stuff, and it really worked out, really helped her.
That's amazing.
Right.
Absolutely
because
amazing.
Usually I don't work with the physical stuff that much, but, well, I did have experience, but just not focusing on that.
Yeah.
And it pays out very, in a great way. By the way, to get practical tips and awareness shifting activities pertaining to this interview, go to radiantmastery.com/practice to access your complimentary companion podcast practice. So another one, a client dreamed about her business for 20 years. 20 years. She would try to talk about it to her friends. They would say, no, it will not work. This just don't need to. 20 years. So instead of having a business, she was going to work, took her job, hated it, was miserable, but still had to go. We started working together. The progress was interesting. First, she got promoted for the first time in a long time, maybe first time ever. So she got promoted, she got pay increase, because we were already healing there inside. And then she quit the job. She didn't even tell me. She just quit the job because she was strong enough, feeling already that strength inside that she could do it. Then she had a bonus that I offered. The bonus was to confirm what your purpose in life is. And that business was confirmed as the purpose in life. So she was encouraged with all the work we've done. She opened the business. She's still my client after 2.5 years, and she's actually tripling the business, or tripled, I don't know, maybe more now. And she sometimes has to reschedule sessions with me because she's too busy in her business, and orders come in, and she says, I need a different time. And I say, yes, that's a great excuse to reschedule a session.
I love that. I love that story. I mean, that's such a great one, isn't it? I mean, here we are, working, nothing's working. People are telling you no, and then something changes inside, and now it's just in flow.
And she's so happy. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, if we didn't work together, she wouldn't be able. It's actually good for us, because sometimes maybe entrepreneurs think, oh, who wants my business? Who wants my service? But then you start looking at these success cases, and you say, if you were not there to present yourself and to show that you can help her, she would be where she was before, and her life wouldn't change.
That's true. That's very, very true. And she would be stuck in a job she didn't like the salmon: eat, sleep, work. It's hard. When you unlock it,
no purpose.
And no purpose.
No purpose.
Or you can't make your purpose happen.
Right. Exactly. Purpose is there. You're right. But you can't make it happen. Exactly. Another example, the client has been battling Upstream for 20 years. I don't know what it is with 20 years. For 20 years, I think since 95, because she worked with me several years ago, since 95, 20 years. And she had still a student loan debt for 10,000 American dollars. She still had that debt to pay. She couldn't pay it in 20 years. So we worked for 3 months. After 3 months, we finished. 2 days later. Look at this. I'm right now realizing 48 hours, 2 days later, the same thing. 2 days, 20 years. What's up with that? I didn't think about it.
Fast. Yeah.
2 days later, whole 10,000 American dollars was wiped out. It was paid off. Not cleared as whatever bankruptcy. No. It was paid off and completely. She became debt free completely in 1 day.
Wow,
It was
that
such a huge
rocks.
surprise for her because there is no way, she said, I could not possibly even imagine. We didn't work on that particularly. We worked on everything else, but that was everything. I call it the ultimate wealth, because when you work on inside, you can never say what exactly is going to change, because
Mm.
everything is changing. Because you clear those
Exactly.
issues, everything is improving in your life. So it's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's on many levels, I think. Yeah, that's so
Exactly.
beautiful. And I mean, people
Exactly.
have terrible student debt, especially in
Right.
America, but it's coming everywhere, and they carry it around with them the whole of their life. This huge burden that just it's like they can't. I mean, my husband has a big debt from his U.S. days, so I'm sending him to you because I'm sick of this debt that never goes away.
And the next one is a client dreamed about a particular car model for 40 years. I'm not exaggerating. She gave me the numbers. It's on my website. She's saying it herself. I have video testimonials, so this is not an exaggeration. I don't know how you dream about something for 40 years, but she did. So she had that car, particular car.
Whoa.
And she did get exactly car she wanted, exactly color she wanted. They offered her exactly color she wanted, exactly financing options she wanted. Everything was in the flow. Everything was effortless, and she is enjoying her favorite car.
Amazing.
It is.
Amazing.
And she didn't come to me saying, you know what, I need to work on my car because
No,
I've
no,
been
no.
dreaming about 40 years, right? So they never do. No one came here for that particular reason,
No, no, no.
but changes happened.
It's amazing because there's so many different aspects of life that are touched by these deep work.
Right, right.
Amazing.
And the last one, because so many already. A client became genuinely happy for the first time. She had no idea. She wasn't even happy at all. She just
Wow.
lived her life like salmon, neutral. She did not, well, only recently she realized that she wasn't happy. People do not even know, they're not aware, because they go, like
No.
you said, they go to work, they come back, it's
Yeah.
motions, they go through the
Yeah, yeah.
motions.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. They're going through
And
the motion and it feels okay, doesn't it? I mean, it's not always bad to go through the motions. It's not
well,
here. It's not in your
it's not
heart.
life. It's not life. It's not Teddy who is sitting on her owner's lap and gets treats, and he's cute porcupine from my example at the beginning. And
Yeah.
so she came, of course she came to me for a different reason. She came to me to help with money.
Mm.
That was help too, the debts, and I'm not going there, but the definitely every area of her life changed. But
Wow.
this is big because I wanted to show that
Mm.
she became happy, and it's huge for her because she wants to be happy. Everybody wants to be happy.
Everybody
She just
wants.
didn't
Yeah.
know that. And of course she wouldn't come to a person, to a mentor, say, oh, I want to be happy, let's do it. People,
No, no.
unfortunately, people don't think about it, but we
Yeah.
all need
We
to
do.
be happy.
That's
Yeah.
amazing that you've helped your clients in so many different ways. I think it's just so inspiring. But Irina, tell me a little bit more about your ideal client.
And before I do that, I
Yeah.
want to say that the reason I gave 7 examples,
Yeah.
because I wanted to cover, like you mentioned, different areas of
Mm.
life. It's money, it's health,
Yeah.
it's relationships, it's career, it's even happiness. Because it was hard for me. Imagine I am a self-awareness mentor.
Yeah.
How do you define that? How do you tell your clients? How do you invite your clients? Who am I? Who, for example, if you refer people to me, what do you know? How do you know what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
Because
Right.
here is my specialization. So it was a hard process to define, because
Mm.
yes, yes, I do a lot of work with money issues, obviously,
Of,
absolutely.
mm.
But what I recently understood, that I need to tell people that it's actually my specialization is not only money, only health, only this.
No.
My specialization is spiritual approach to your problem. So I turned it the opposite way, not what marketing mentors teach. So I had
Exactly. Yeah.
right, I had to
not the
find my way.
problem, but the person.
Right. Because I do have over the years, because I've been so much in this field, both professionally and personally, I developed a system that is, I've tested it, I've perfected it, I work with it, it works every time. And I apply this system because it changes consciousness, it increases self-awareness, and that's how people get results. So how can I say what problem do you have come to me when it's the system that we will apply that will help you with problems?
Exactly. It's very different.
Right. So answering your questions, what type of clients I work with? Well, one person told me specifically when she came to me to see for the first initial consultation, I asked her, why did you come to me? And she gave me a profound answer. She said, I've tried, she came regarding money. I've tried all traditional methods of dealing with money and nothing worked. And I'm ready to try a spiritual approach. So I realized this is how I work. If you want spiritual approach to your physical situation that you're battling with, you have an urgent problem with, then you can come to me, because with that spiritual approach, everything will be changed. And to be in the flow, we have to connect with the spiritual power, with the power inside.
Exactly. So I think that is it, that there isn't it's connecting with the flow. So it's really, clients have to be open to this, don't they? They have to be open.
I think I stopped hearing you. Can I, let me...
Can you hear me now? I can hear my husband is coming. I've got a lovely family. They come in and out. There's a big notice on the door saying podcasting, but let's just ignore that.
Well, we're talking about interesting things, so I'm sure they want to...
they want to be here listening to this. But I just love that you talk to a wide range of people, and that your ideal client is someone who wants to unlock themselves, if I've understood, not just I've got a particular niche of person. It feels like you help everybody.
Well, they say it's a taboo to say I help everybody, because how can you help everybody, right? And that was my question, because I would say, yes, I can help everybody, because again, it's the system that you go inside, and everybody has internal world. So I just say I specialize with women, because obviously I do have experience with working with men, and I have great results. They're also in testimonials on my website.
Yes.
But I do prefer women, just personal approach. I like with women, and I do specialize with those women whose light inside allows them to accept my work, because this is specific spiritual work. And if you are very religious, I'm sorry, I won't be able to help you if you don't want to look outside your religion, because this is universal. This is a spiritual knowledge. This is the connecting with your power inside.
Exactly. But that's really beautiful. Irina, it's been so wonderful talking to you and learning so much more about the work you do and the people that you've helped, and that whole approach to life, to that unlocking that inner power. I just love it, and I can really resonate with it. What I'd love to do is to get you to tell people where they can find out more about you and connect with you and the wonderful work that you do.
Absolutely, right? That's the favorite thing for people to do. I would like to tell the audience, the listeners, if you have a problem that you really want to solve, and it can be, like we've discussed, a problem in any area of your life, as I showed examples. You tried all traditional methods, because unfortunately people don't believe the words, they want to experience the hard way. So go ahead and try all traditional. Go to Australia, go to England, go to Sweden, right? Go to America from Russia, and get everything. Change your husband's like we did. Me too.
Yep.
I'm there too. So experience all that, do all what you want to do, and then see that nothing worked.
Exactly. Yeah. And
And
then,
then, if you're ready to embrace the spiritual approach and really go inside and change from inside, and you don't want to talk about your problem, you want to solve it,
yes.
then I would like to invite you for a complimentary self-awareness discovery session. So if you're interested, go to my website. It's radiantmastery.com. Did I say it clearly?
You did.
Radiantmastery.com. With my accent, I have to make sure.
We heard you. I'll
Yeah.
repeat it at the end too, so that everybody's really sure.
And then click on the Discovery Session tab and fill out the application, the form. And I would like to mention that this is not a free counseling session. I used to be a counselor, so I left that world a long time ago.
Yep.
So it's not a free counseling session. This is a complimentary conversation time with me to see what your problem is, where you want to be, and how to get there the fastest way. So please apply only if you're serious about it, and if you follow all the directions I said, try all the nasty stuff before,
Yeah.
and then come. And of course, I will be very happy to talk to you.
That sounds fantastic, Irina. I love that. And I have loved having you as a guest. I love your passion, your deep love for this work. I really love it. Thank you so much for coming on this video podcast. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Clarissa. You made it. I was planning for a short, but you just keep asking questions and you make such amazing comments that you just let me talk. And I said, okay, I can talk.
The important thing is to share our message, and I really hope out there that our listeners and my listeners have really enjoyed this, that they've gained benefit from this, and they'll connect with you, Irina, at radiantmaster.com and take advantage of this great offer. So, guys, I hope you have enjoyed it. I've had fun here, and I hope that we'll see you in the next episode. And until then, go well.
Remember to get practical tips and awareness shifting activities pertaining to this interview. Go to radiantmastery.com/practice to access your complimentary companion podcast practice. To hear more inspiring stories and practical tips on overcoming your challenges by going within and connecting with your divine power, make sure to subscribe to this channel.